Global shipments of wireless headphones in 2022 were 553 million units, according to Statista. They are everywhere, synonymous with how we use our smart devices, podcasts, music, phone calls. Harman launched the Tour Pro 2 in 2023 with new features, new end benefits, and a really creative marketing program and campaign. We're joined today with Chris Epple, Vice President of Marketing at Harman, America's Consumer Audio Division.
Very good.
Nailed it. And I'm Estee Cross, Vice President of National Sales at USA Today Network. I'm really excited to sit here with you today, Chris. Thank you for the opportunity to chat. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Tour Pro 2, which was the center of our conversation, and then we'll jump into all the great marketing strategies.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for hanging for a while. You brought up the sales of true wireless headphones. The scale and scope of the size of this business is so amazing and scary in a way. Crazy stat, we sell 1.4 headphones every second.
Oh my gosh.
Every second of every day. Just to put in perspective the volume.
That's a lot of headphones.
It's fascinating. Now, when you think of the headphone business, you can super high level over ear, and then you have true wireless. You have some with wires, et cetera.
Right.
And you've seen kind of ups and downs. There was a moment where like wired, we're back in for a minute. But right now, this idea of truly wireless headphones, obviously they're rampant. People lose them all the time, which we like. But so we launched the Tour Pro 2 last year, and one of the things we saw was, in this category, it was very much around, you're going to buy the one we make. It's going to be in one color. It's going to be this size. And whatever your ear looks like, whatever colors you like, doesn't matter, because this is the one we're going to sell you. So our campaign, what we launched Tour Pro 2 around, was JBL makes earbuds for everyone. O-N-E was underlined. It was very specifically designed to say, we create what you want. We've got the color for you. We've got the style for you. And then what we then went to on the technological side with the Tour Pro 2 was the case has the ability to customize to your listening experience. So it was, you might like music, audio. You might be an audiophile. I might be a movie buff. So I could change the sound settings to be movie. You could change the sound settings to be music or gaming. You might like treble more than I like bass. So like we can change literally everything around the listening experience, because we're not a world of sameness. This is that the other brands that I'm referring to kind of built a sea of sameness, and we're trying to create really what do you exactly want in your listening experience.
I love that. Simply because of its inclusivity of everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's tastes are welcome within the world of Harman.
Correct.
And I'm wondering, because so much today is data informed, so USA Today Network, content, huge music, lots of coverage around our music content lately, and that's data informed, engagement informed. That had to have been part of the decision making on those end benefits, as well as you didn't even touch on the touch screen on the case. Right.
Yes. Within the Tour Pro 2, the case is full. All the customization can be done on the case itself. And then our apps allow you to, for all of our ecosystem of products, customize how you want to listen. But yeah, the Tour Pro 2 is the first one to let the case be where you can do all of that.
I love not hanging up on my mom, because I can do that on my case and not touch the wrong thing on my headphones.
Exactly.
That is
I have hung up on
benefit.
people on the case though too.
It's a huge benefit. So you spoke to attracting consumers, attracting sales, right? That's what we're here to do. At the end of the day, you bring consumers into the brand because you're delivering what they want with all these personalizations. You spoke about that on the panel just a few moments ago. Could you expand on that a little bit more on what that means for you?
Well, and just core to everything that we're talking about here, like we could come up with any benefit we want or any feature we want.
Sure.
But it's not a benefit if people don't want it. Right. So really the focus, and you talked about data, it was part of it is data, obviously, but it was listening. It was really speaking to consumers, understanding what are because again, we only have, let's say it's 15 features on it. Like maybe the 16th was the one they wanted the most. So we really went on a listening tour to understand what consumers wanted when that product was created. And now one of the things we're seeing, and we're announcing at CES, is now the three key form factors of true wireless will all have touch screens now.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
But this, what we did for this campaign was we really wanted to highlight the individuality. So going back to what you were saying before, because everyone is who they are, unjudged, right? You are who you are, and that's great. So we really tried to set out to create this campaign where people, we used influencers from around the world. And in their craft. So one's a street artist, one's a DJ, and a couple of others. And then when they put the product on, they actually went into a world of their own. Each of them were extremely different from the others because their worlds are different, because their styles are different, their crafts are different. So we really wanted to highlight the fact that when you put these on, you go into your world unjudged and the way you want it to be. Like our features. And
that was a big risk for you and the company to take, that creative, bold statement, and how that the ears expanded. That was
it was a very scary campaign to see green light and because when you put the product on, what we did was we actually, literally the people's ears were like this big and the products were like this big, because we were trying to say that you went into your world and your audio is so great that it literally made your ears expand. And why we did it the way we did it, our rally cry was stop the scroll, because we just didn't want to be another ad when you're flipping through your phone, but create something where people are like, oh my God, what the heck is this? And that was kind of the rally cry for how we wanted to build this campaign.
Really leaning into engagement and where the consumer is finding your creative and pulling them in. I love that. Can you share anything that you're excited about I know you have tons of meetings, you're super packed. Anything that you've heard or seen since you've touched down in Vegas that you're excited about? Yeah,
it's funny. Every other sentence is AI, right? I'm surprised we went 8 minutes in, we haven't said AI. It's amazing. But I think what I'm finding is everyone's trying to figure out how to use AI and what it means. Everyone you talk to knows of a new way that some brand is doing something with AI. So I think I'm really curious to watch how brands are trying to figure out AI to see, what they're bringing to life or how they're talking about it, because it's both the most exciting and scariest thing at the same time. So I'm really intrigued by how brands are thinking about data privacy, protection, but then also making it a benefit, right? It's all about not a feature, but a benefit.
Delivering that for the consumer that you're targeting, or you're trying to engage with. It's going to be really interesting to see how that evolves this year, certainly. We've talked a lot about marketing risks and the great creative campaign. We've talked about how the Tour Pro 2 allows you to personalize it a little bit. Are you taking that further? How are you taking that personalization and customization further?
It's great. So we, in addition to what I'll call features that are benefits, that is an audio experience. But at the same time, how you want to be reflective, how you want to be seen. You picked your jacket today, you picked your shoes today, right? Your speaker should be the same way. So a lot of times we hear it's just a bunch of black cylinders. So we've actually launched a platform called JBL by Me, where you can go in and put whatever you could design. You could put pictures, your favorite vacation, family photos on both the speakers and even the cases of the products that don't have the touch screen. So you can literally put whatever you want on them.
Fantastic.
And then in the touch screen, we added a screensaver option. So on mine, my family photo is on the product.
That's great.
So that, every time I look at the case, it's there. So it's really around not just the audio benefits, but the way you want to be reflective, right? So, and especially with our bigger speakers, it's a big statement when you put your school logo on there or whatever you put on there. So we're having a lot of fun with that. We're seeing a lot of success with that. And this campaign, the JBL Makes Earbuds for Everyone, has seen quite an uptick in the JBL by Me platform.
And do you see that leading into your suite of launches for 2024 and infusing that into your marketing strategies and evolution of your advertising campaigns?
We're all in on it. So, thinking about how to continue to drive that through line. But it's, at the end of the day, I can't say it enough. It's always about listening to consumers, because we did this because consumers have said to us, I'm me. I want to be reflective of me. I don't want to buy the thing you told me I have to buy. So it was around listening. If the trends change, we would obviously address it. But I can't imagine not wanting to. I can't imagine going back to not personalizing things. So yeah.
Once you're there, you're there.
You're there.
I love that Harman is as an audio company, listening to consumers and using that data to inform your products, and then leaning into innovation in product,
Sure.
risk-taking, personalization. How has your, with all of this great success behind you and these lessons that you've learned, risk-taking and innovation, how has this changed the way you look at marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I think going back, when I think with the earlier parts of my career to now, the amount of data, the amount of ability we have to listen in real time to consumers is it's massive, it's incredible. And I've always worked in companies with long lead time products, whether it be beverage industry or consumer electronics, where it takes, sometimes years to innovate. But the ability to get real time feedback on what you're doing, dig into the type of data, qual or quant you want, and then even apply that to how we buy media, how we think about marketing, using data has become such a bigger part of the job. I'd say, when I was in grad school, I was all about the creative process. Now I almost wish I got like a finance degree, because I'm spending so much, or accounting degrees, I'm spending so much time looking and breaking apart data to look at trends. So it's fascinating, it's amazing. Also, filtering through the data you don't need is the key part, because you could just get lost forever in the data.
Absolutely can. I love that. It hits home for us too.
Yeah.
The data informed everything. Understanding your audience, understanding your target consumer, having that first party data, having that listening ability is super important to the things that you either publish or that you develop and create and bring into the world for
and if you
consumers.
think about it, there's no way we know everything that's going on in the head. First of all, I'm not a Gen Zer. I think I am sometimes, but how can I know what a Gen Zer in Brazil is focused on or cares about right now? So really listening and taking the data in. It's the data, but there's also the conversations.
Sure.
And bringing that all to bear.
Contextual data.
Contextual data. I love that. Yeah, exactly.
So as we're sitting here at Brand Innovators and we're listening to lots of people talk about what they think is happening in our industry and sharing their advice, what is the advice that you would give to fellow marketers going into 2024?
Yeah, and I would give this advice in any year, but I'll say it in 24. And it's funny, when I left one of my old jobs, I was there for almost a decade, I asked our CMO for some advice.
Oh, great.
And he said, and it's one of the most profound pieces of advice I've ever been given, which was, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So not the other way around. So do a lot more listening than talking. So really now, as my role has gotten wider, obviously as you go up in your career, countries added, languages and things like, you kind of, I said a minute ago, you can't pretend to know everything. You don't know everything.
Right.
So really taking the time to listen to experts in their fields, distilling out the noise, because obviously you're not going to take every piece of advice or every piece of data you get, but applying what smarter people are telling you, I think goes a long way in one's career, and super serving the needs of your consumers.
Yes.
Because you're listening to them and listening to your teams talk about them.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? Your consumer.
That's what we do, yeah.
Great. It was so nice to talk to you today.
It was great doing this.
Chris,
This is
thank
great.
you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.